Hi, good morning, everyone. My 151 subscribers. I can't thank you enough for the support in the comments. I love getting feedback. This is an update on Rose after her spaying. I'll tell you, it's been a long, month, really. I took Rose in. Oh, look what she's doing. Look at that slow head bob. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. Yeah, she laid the follicles. They looked like all egg yolk, and I did a video about that after I took her to the vet and learned what those were. We decided to spay her, and this is the follow-up video. She was on antibiotics every third day for the 2 weeks, leading up to the surgery. And surgery day, my gosh, I posted a video right after the surgery telling about all that they went through to keep her alive through that surgery. Rose, I wish you would show yourself a little bit more. She's focused on Mr. Murray over there. But yeah, that was a long day for them, and I was really hoping for photos of what they removed from her. And I learned yesterday at the final appointment. We do have another one in a month to take stitches out, but yesterday was the final appointment for the antibiotics. Those were still being given every third day because of what they saw when they did the surgery. They had a lot to take out. And the reason they didn't get pictures of it, it was just a bunch of goo, and the lady described, if you think about the bubble tea, the little round bubbles in that tea, imagine those not really having a membrane, but just being mush. And that is what her body was producing. There was infection, there was inflammation, and she had everything wrong. And, sorry, in the last video, I named all those things. I put it in the description. But she called me last night because it was curbside service, and they had Rose giving her last injection, and she said, she needed a win. She needed a really good win because, vets go through a lot trying to save animals that are terminal, and they have losses sometimes, and Rose was a good win. It was really a tricky surgery. They did their best. They did oxygen for several hours after that surgery, trying to get her to breathe on her own. They gave me a dragon that's going to live a long time, basically. And that wasn't cheap. And not everybody has a vet like that near them. They're in the top 15% in the country, I believe, in the U.S. on being able to treat exotics and really treat exotics, not blindly give antibiotics because they know something is wrong. They're able to detect which bacteria they have that's causing the problem, and therefore which antibiotic is best. That was just a simple thing a year ago for Rose. She had 3 different kinds of bacteria. We treated those with the right antibiotic, and then a 4th bacteria surfaced after those were treated, so we treated that one, and after that she was good. But she laid eggs, and then she just tanked. And honestly, I'm kind of wondering, was it really a metabolic hit on her system, or was there damage inside? Because what they removed from her was just not even something you could take much of a picture of. But now, she said, even with the stitches still in, she's healed. She can have her cave back. Now I put a smaller cave than before. And I've got her little stuffies, so when she wants to climb around, she can. And right now she's reacting to Murray across the way. That she still has the hormones in her system. And the vet let me know that there's no reason that Rose and Murray can't have supervised interaction and even be housed together, because the vet had a pair of dragons that liked each other. They preferred being in the same tank to being in separate tanks. And if that's the case, they can be housed together and be just fine. She's not, she said she's not It's not that big of a deal to have a 40-gallon tank. It's just not. You know, if you want to get a bigger tank that makes you feel good, I'll tell you, I got a bigger tank. It made me feel good. But the dragons didn't like it. So at the end of the day, you got to go by, do they like being by the window? Do they like having the space? Do they use the space? For me, it's going to be, I've got 2 dragons. And now she's going to have hormones in her system for about 6 months. And she's going to want to be with Murray. Murray wants to be with her. And see, she's doing an extremely slow head bob. And she's doing that for Murray. Because if you see across the way, there's Murray. There you are. Forgive my messy kitchen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've worked a lot of overtime lately, and when I wasn't working, I was driving her to the vet because they're not in my town. They're in the next town over. So at the end of this, I'm going to include 2 pictures from the vet's office. And it's pictures from the surgery, and that's going to be all I have. I'm sorry. But if you've got a female dragon and she's having problems, if your vet is competent to try to do the surgery, talk to him about it, to do the spaying. And it's funny, some friends of mine let me know that another YouTuber was responding to one of my comments saying, why would you spay a dragon? It's like, because female dragons can get problems. They can die. And considering what they took out of her, I could tell by her colors she was in a lot of pain. You know, she would have died. It was either euthanize or try the surgery, really. But we'll see what happens when Rose and Murray get together. They might be housed together. There's no reason you can't do that. If you watch them and they get along and one is not bullying the other, that's what the vet said, then, you know, it can be fine. I also let her know, since she knows that I take care of my dragons to the point that I do, if she runs across somebody that has a dragon that needs a home, like they don't have the means to take care of it, I told her, please give it a good bill of health before you give me a call, but consider me, because, you know, if I house these together, I will have an extra tank. At some point, I will be giving my snake, Drummer, a bigger tank, you know, one more appropriate for a snake, because right now he's in Murray's original tank. Hey, Puddin', she doesn't like this. She wants to focus on Murray. So she made it through, and I'm tempted to just hold her up and show the stitches. Yeah, maybe I'll try. Because it was a really big incision. Come here, baby girl. Come here. Oh boy, that's a tough angle. I'm sorry, baby girl. She's like, stop it. Stop it. Alright, she's fine. So, and you see these, she's got extra skin now. They took out so much. So, thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Look at that face. She's like, can you leave me alone so I can flirt with my boyfriend? But I love the comments. I love the feedback. And stay tuned, because I bet I have another video later of Rose and Murray just calmly hanging out. So I'm going to add a couple pictures to the end of this. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers and all of those of you who comment. It really means a lot. So you all have a lovely weekend, and we will too.